Alright, we're going to be tying a soft hackle woolly bugger. And in the vise here, I got an NS 118 Arex hook size 8. And for my thread, we're going to be using Semperfli Classic Waxed and Medium Olive. And for our weight on this fly, we're going to be using some 0.4 millimeter lead wire. So I like to start this off with about 20 wraps or so of this. It doesn't have to be exact, obviously, but you know, to each its own. So we get this started here. And I just do 20. It's like kind of one of those lucky number things, I guess you'd say. So after I get that on there, I like to have it a little closer to the eye, almost to the halfway point, but not quite. Do a couple of wraps, and then I come all the way over. And what that does is it just helps you put some thread in between the ridges there. That way you don't fall in between the ridges. And for our scissors here, we're using Anadromous Flyco tungsten carbide ribbon scissors. These are amazing. Anywho, so we're going to be using this Brahma hen with Chickaboo. This is a very nice pelt that I got here. And so I like to pull the Chickaboo off of the top, almost towards the very top of the pelt. I usually grab 2 feathers and put them back to back. I find that you get the best look and the best swim when you do that. So we just grab 2 here, and I put them where the back side's facing the back side, so the front of the feather will be facing outwards. And I line this up to be about a hook shank. I bring it back, swap hands, and then I see right where my lead is. I'm going to cut that off. That way I get a clean tie in. I don't have a whole bunch of excess and a whole bunch of mess there. And it's going to twist a little bit in the beginning. That's okay. It's just marabou. Once you get that tied in there, slide it over where you can see it a little better there. Alright, then we're going to use some flash here. I have this Arex Semper Flash 1/16 inch gold. This is some pretty awesome stuff. You can get flash on the roll as well. I prefer just buying it like this. You get more, it's cheaper, and it's longer. Well, it's not longer, it's, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so however you want to do it the way that's comfortable for you. But I like to double these up, get their tips good and even, stick them to the side. And now I don't go all the way to the rear of the tail. I go almost to the rear of the tail with the length of this flash, and I take a couple little securing wraps, and then I'm going to fold this back over, and then I'm going to pull it back. Whoop. Just like that. And this fly is made to swim, so this flash does not have to be perfect. I mean, this isn't something I'm going to put in an art gallery. And when I was saying about not going all the way back, so I cut it about right there. It's almost all the way back, but not quite. Just even these up a little bit here. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know. If I wasn't doing this for a video, honestly, I wouldn't be bothered about it at all. Right? And now you're going to cover this completely. You don't want any of this showing through. Some people use dubbing underneath. We're just doing the we're just doing the plain feathers. This is a 1 feather fly. one type of feather fly rather. And that's okay if a little bit of it shows through. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to make sure most of it's covered up. Okay, and then so with your pelt, your longer fibers are going to be at the very top here, and your shorter fibers obviously are going to be at the very bottom where the neck would have been. So to start, I always pull from the bottom first, or around close to the bottom. Grab a fiber off there, strip away the excess, and I tie this in by the hook point. I mean by the hook point yet, by the tip of the feather, and I pull it back. You want a little bit of space to be able to fold your fibers under. And I try to have this feather come pretty close to where that lead was tied in. That way it gives me a nice space to get that cinched down there. We're going to grab our hackle pliers here, and we are going to palmer this up. Now, you don't have to do tight touch and turns or anything with this. If you want to, you can, but don't make it extremely loose. However, the looser you wrap this, the more action it has, in my findings, in my opinion. And you know, it's like 2 or 3 millimeters for each wrap I'm taking here. And come right up to our thread here. We're going to catch that in. And again, yeah, you can do touching wraps, but it's going to take you a lot of feathers to do that, and it's not really going to look any different, and it's not going to swim any better. Right? A little flash back there acting up. That's alright. And so we started at the bottom of the pelt here, and we're going to slowly work our way to the top. With each feather we're going to go higher up. That way each feather's a little wider than the last. Same thing, strip it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to tie it in. I'll leave that under there. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit shining through. Fish don't care anyway. Again, this is a fishing fly, so it's not, this is nothing crazy, that's for sure. We're going to catch this in right here. Alright, now when I start to get towards the head of this, towards the eye, I do start making my wraps a little bit tighter. So I'll probably I might get 2 feathers on there, but I'm probably only going to put 1 more feather on here. We'll see how it goes. Also, the further you get up the pelt, the feathers get longer, but the fibers get longer as well, but you get a lot more waste off of it. And you really don't want to tie those. I mean, you can tie the fuzzy fibers in, that's up to you, but I don't like to tie the fuzzy fibers in. Once we get up here towards the eye, this little bit of extra right here, I'm just going to fold that back. We're just going to pretend like it's not there. Yeah, we'll probably just use this feather for the whole thing, or for the rest of it. Again, we're going to palmer that forward. Keep it coming. Alright, and then we're going to tighten it up. And I don't build up a huge head on these flies, no big fancy head. It's just gonna be for the water. I come all the way right up to the eye. I mean, I touch the eye, and that's all right. So we're gonna tie back over top of it just a little bit. That stem was from the top, so it's a little thick. All right, once you get that in place there, we're gonna grab our anadromous spring whip finisher, and we're just gonna hit it with a whip finish. Now if you get too high up on the eye, just push it back. We'll hit it again. Personal preference. And push it back. We're going to pop that off of there. And that pretty much does it. It's a very, very effective fly and so easy to tie. Slide it forward here so you guys can actually see what's happening with it. And that's it. See you guys in the next one.